and studied Bailey. "Have you heard from him? From Cody?" "No." Bailey's tone made it clear she didn't want to talk about Cody Coleman, not now. "If I hear from him, you'll be the first to know, like always." Her mom angled her head. "No need to get upset." Clearly she had picked up on Bailey's irritation. "I just wondered. It seems crazy that none of us have heard from him." Bailey exhaled and tried to see past her frustration. "He walked away when everything was perfect." She brought her tone back to normal. "I'm sorry for sounding mad. It's just, I don't know. I guess his silence today shouldn't surprise us." A brush of sorrow filled in the fine lines around her mother's eyes. "You're right." She looked over her shoulder to the family room again and back at Bailey. A smile tugged at the corners of her lips. "I'd say Brandon doesn't need to worry." At that moment, someone must have scored because Ricky shot to his feet and Justin raised his fist in the air and shouted, "That's it, baby! Tie game!" Brandon high-fived Bailey's other brothers, BJ and Sean, and the enthusiasm of the moment left the guys too focused to notice the girls watching them from the kitchen. Bailey smiled. "Yes, he'll be fine." She watched him for a moment. Besides, around this family, it's impossible not to love football. The game must have gone to a commercial, or maybe Brandon felt her thinking about him because he looked at her and smiled. Then he stood and came to her. As he did, their eyes held. "That boy's crazy about you," her mom whispered as she turned her attention back to the apple pie. "No question about that. Like a dying man in the desert." Bailey still kept her voice low. "Yes." Her mother didn't sound as convinced. "It sure seems that way." Brandon reached the kitchen. "Halftime." He rolled up the sleeves of his white button-down shirt. "Tell me what to do." Bailey let her eyes linger on his. "Take me for a walk, Brandon," she wanted to say. "Tell me again that I don't need to be afraid. Not of falling in love with him or of longing for Cody at some distant point in time." With everything in her, she wanted Brandon to hold her hand and tell her that she was right to finally and fully let her feelings for Cody Coleman fade, because no one would ever love her like Brandon did. But it wasn't the time. And anyway, his words could hardly tell her more than his eyes had just said. "Here." Bailey handed him a stick of butter. "Unwrap this, and I'll mash." "Got it." He took the spot beside her, slid the paper off the butter, and found a paring knife, which he used to cut butter slices into the potatoes. As he worked, their elbows brushed against each other, and Bailey could feel the chemistry between them, like electricity on a stormy summer night. "God, am I getting ahead of myself?" She pressed the masher into the potatoes and tried to gather her feelings. If she let herself fall this hard now, there would be no turning back. They weren't in high school, weren't flirting through freshman year of college or planning a weekend dance date. This was grown-up stuff. And the love they shared, the feelings between them were the kind that sometimes lasted forever. "There." Bailey's mom sprinkled brown sugar crumbs across the top of the pie. "That should do it." Ricky bounded into the kitchen and leaned on the bar opposite the work area. "Another perfect Thanksgiving dessert." He raised his eyebrows a few times in Bailey's direction. "How does she do it?" The distraction lightened Bailey's thoughts, and she grinned at her youngest brother. "Simple. Mom's the best." Her mom opened the oven and set the pie carefully inside where two others were already cooking. She glanced at Bailey. "I don't know about the best. There was the time I set the turkey on fire." "Yeah, before I was born."